Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. English class 6. This lesson is a revision lesson. Let's start with the portion of English grammar. Lesson number 6. Modals. Modals are the auxiliary verbs. They tell us the mood or the way in which something happens. Some modals are must, shall, can, may, will, should, etc. Modals, when used in a sentence, show the ability of a person, that a person can do, is able to do a certain thing. It also shows permission. It also shows possibility, that there is a possibility of something happening, and there are many other functions that modals can perform. Sentence number 1, I can swim. The modal is can. In this sentence, the modal can shows the ability of the person that he can swim. We should be careful. The modal should here shows suggestion. The speaker in this sentence is suggesting others to be careful. Will your idea work? The modal auxiliary will shows possibility. Exercise, let us understand. Underline the modals. So we have to identify the modals. People should not throw stones on animals. Should not is a negative modal, negative auxiliary. So this should not is a modal verb. I can play piano very well. Can is modal auxiliary. I must finish my work before I sleep. Must is a modal. May I borrow your pencil? May is auxiliary, modal auxiliary that is used to ask permission. Number 7, adjectives. Adjectives are the words that describe a noun or pronoun, that tell the quality or quantity of a noun or pronoun. In the sentence, old lady walked down the street. The noun is lady, and the word old tells about the quality of the lady. It describes the lady, noun. So this is adjective. Adjective always comes before the noun that it is describing. Our main concern is adjective phrase. Phrase is a group of words. So adjective phrase is group of words that describes a noun. A group of words that function as an adjective is adjective phrase. In the sentence, an old lady wearing a big brown hat walked down the street. Phrase, the group of words. Wearing a big brown hat describes the lady. So this is adjective phrase. And as compared to adjective, adjective phrase comes after the noun that it is describing. And adjective comes before the noun it is describing. The adjective phrase comes after the noun that it is describing. Old comes before the lady, and wearing a big brown hat comes after the lady. Underline adjective phrase. Exercise. In these sentences, we have to find the adjective phrase, and we are going to underline it. A cottage, dark, cold and wet, becomes our only shelter from the heavy rains. Noun is cottage. Adjective phrase is dark, cold and wet. That describes the cottage. The path through the woods, deep, dark and haunted, was frightening. Noun is the path. And adjective phrase is through the woods, deep, dark and haunted. The garden, blooming with flowers in multiple colors, was a sight to behold. The garden is noun. Blooming with flowers in multiple colors is adjective phrase. The hill slopes, lush green with grass, are covered with snow. The noun is hill slopes. Lush green with grass describes the hill slopes. That's why it is adjective phrase. We could never feel the witchery of clear blue skies. Clear blue is adjective phrase. Lesson number 8, adverb. Adverb phrase. Adverb phrase is a group of words that tells us more about the verb. Just like adjective phrase, adverb phrase is a group of words that describes a verb. Adjective describes a noun. Adverb describes a verb. Sentence number 1. The plane took off with big roar. Took off is verb. With big roar is adverb phrase. The giant came to his room huffing and puffing with anger. Adverb is the answer to the questions how, when, where something happened. So the group of words that gives answer to how the action took place is adverb phrase. The giant came to his room. How did he come to his room? He came to his room huffing and puffing with anger. So this is how the action took place. This is adverb phrase. We went to see the flower show in the evening. This answers the question when. Stan and Justin went up to the roof to fly kites. Up to the roof answers the question where. The hitchhikers pitched their tent for the night by the lakeside. By the lakeside is adverb phrase. We must water the plants in the evening. In the evening is adverb phrase. This was from English grammar. I have just given you the concept. You need to revise all the exercises from English grammar lesson number 6, 7 and 8. Now let's move to unit number 4, Oxford Progressive English 6. Important things from exams point of view in the book Oxford Progressive English are vocabulary, question answers and word sentences. So we will revise the vocabulary, question answers and word sentences. At page number 77 and page number 78, the egg collector's surprise. Vocabulary is given here. You are going to revise it or you are going to learn it. Let's come to question answers at page number 77. Topic to the lesson is the egg collector's surprise at page number 76. Why did the egg collector climb the trees? They climbed the trees to hunt eagle's eggs. Question number 2. What did the egg collector think he saw at the top of the tree? He thought it was a nest. Number 3. What did he find at the top of the tree? He found a shepherd's skeleton and rags. Question number 4. What started to fall to the ground? Answer is the egg collector followed by the bones of the shepherd. Question number 5. What did the egg collector do next? He started running. The answers are very short. You have to write them in your notebook and also learn them. I hope you have written them already. We will move to our next lesson at page number 82, the Yellow Emperor. Why did the Yellow Emperor send the flood rains? Reading for understanding at page number 82. Because he was angry at the wicked ways of men. Number 2. Who was Kung Kung and what part did he play in the Yellow Emperor's plans? Answer is, he was the vindictive spirit of water. He was placed in charge of flood rains. Number 3. What effect did the flood rains have on people's homes? Holes appeared on the roofs of their houses. Number 4. Describe in detail some of the ways in which the desperate people fought to escape the floods. Some of them took shelter in caves. Some made nests on the top of trees. Number 5. What have you learned about Kun? He was kind-hearted spirit and grandson of the Yellow Emperor. Next lesson is at page number 87. Topic is the bushfire. Question number 1 is, how did the situation change after 6:30 p.m.? Answer. Everything turned dark dramatically and visibility dropped. Number 2. Why did the policeman knock at the resident's door? The policeman knocked at the doors to tell them to get ready for evacuation. Number 3. How did the residents react to approaching fire? They were frightened and most of them packed and drove away. Question 4. How does Adam Wilde feel? He feels helpless, vulnerable and scared. What had the adults and children been doing all day? They had been packing all day. Why did Annie Jeffrey choose not to leave her home earlier? Because she wanted to stay and help. Why did Maggie Grant change her mind? Give details. She decided not to sacrifice her life for home. She thought she was too old to fight fire. Then the vocabulary exercise at page number 95. Devastation means terrible destruction. Eruption means a bursting out. Climatic, to do with climate or atmosphere. Extinguished means wiped out. Catastrophic means disastrous. Famine means lack of food. Scarce, hardly any. Desperate, without hope. At page number 96, reading for interpretation, that is Devastation 1815, the poem. Question number 1 is, what do you think has extinguished the sun? Answer. The ash and the dust has extinguished the sun. Question number 2. What happened to stars? Answer is, they turned dark. Question number 3. Why was the earth blind? Answer. Because there was no moon in the sky. Why was there no moon in the sky? Because it was blocked out by the dust. Number 5. Which words tell you that the day was dark instead of light? The words rayless and pathless tell that the day was dark. We will move to our next unit, number 5, Sights and Sounds. Reading for information at page number 104. Question number 1 is, what does Sightsavers believe in the basic right of every human being? They believe that sight is basic human right. What do they do for 15 pounds sterling? They say that they can restore the sight of someone blinded by cataracts. In what ways does Sightsavers change the lives of those who are irreversibly blind? It helps with their rehabilitation and education. What work is Sightsavers currently doing in Africa? It is setting up an eye hospital. How does Sightsavers benefit local communities? It educates them so that they can make better future for themselves. Reading for understanding, page number 106. Question number 1. Why is eye care program of LRBT is innovative? Answer is, because it is established in the slum areas. Number 2. Miss Selma grew up in Rexer colony. How does those affect her work? She knows about all kind of health problems people can face there. Number 3. What have you learned about the eye infection trachoma? Answer. It causes pain and irritation in eyes and often found in unhygienic environment. Number 4. How did trachoma affect Samira? She was dropped in grades and was unable to do any work. Number 5. How did local health care help Samira? They treated her for 6 weeks. Reading for details at page number 108. The poem. Question number 1. How does the blind man find his way? He feels it with his stick. Question number 2. What is happening in the forest that he cannot see? He cannot see the squirrel leap and heap of leaves. Question number 3. Hue means color. Why is blind man's room hueless? What hue did he not see in the forest? Because he cannot see any color, he did not see the hue of autumn season. Number 4. Why is there only one single season in the blind man's room? A blind man cannot see the changing colors with seasons. That's why there is always a single season in his room. And although the blind man cannot see the signs of autumn, he still experiences them. How does he do? Answer number 5 is he smells the autumn moist and decaying scent. Reading for understanding at page number 110. The blind beggar woman. Question number 1. Where is the blind woman? She is under the arch of a portico. Question number 2. What does she look like? She looks like a wild, inhuman creature. Number 3. Why is her palm lying upward? Her palm lies upward for begging. Question number 4. Why is the old man's hand on the little girl's shoulder? Because she is weak and her hand is on the girl's shoulder to get assistance. Question number 5. What sound can be heard? At the end of the story, we can hear the sound of wailing of a kite. Our last lesson is Odysseus. Reading for understanding. Question number 1. What did the goddess Ceres warn Odysseus about? The goddess Ceres warned Odysseus about the danger of sirens' music. Question number 2. What did Odysseus do with the large piece of beeswax? Why did he do that? He cut it into small pieces, made them soft, and filled the ears of his men so they cannot hear the sounds of the sirens. Number 3. How can you tell that Odysseus was not sure whether he was strong enough to resist the sirens' music? When he asked his men to tie him to the mast, it shows he was not sure about his strength. Question number 4. What happened when Odysseus heard the music? He was filled with longings to follow it. Question number 5. Who were the victors and who were the losers in this story? Odysseus and his men were victors and sirens were the losers in this story. Next is match the words to their definition at page number 114. Learn the words and their meanings. Warn means to advise someone of danger. Goddess Ceres warned Odysseus of the danger. Calm. The sea or the river was calm. Longing, strong desire. Mast is vertical sports for sail. Deaf, someone who is unable to hear. And fade, something becomes less or disappears. Next is using the word in sentences. Warn, please warn us if that happens. Calm, the night was calm and fresh. Longing, the poor zebra is longing for life in the wild. Mast, Odysseus was tied to a mast. Deaf, poor boy is blind and deaf. Fade, the scene fade quickly into the background. Use these words into sentences in such a way that their meanings are cleared from the sentence. Next is creative writing. We will start with letter writing and application and then essay. You have already learned these letters and applications, but I will revise the pattern of writing a letter once again. We start with the address where we are writing the letter. Examination hall. E and H of examination and hall should be capital and don't drop the comma. Then we write the address of city. A, B and C, we put dot after A, B and C. Then we insert date 22nd June, 2020 full stop. We address the person, that is salutation, dear friend, then after the main body we put the closing statement, pay my regards to uncle and aunt. Then we end it, yours sincerely, that is called signature, X.Y.Z, and in a real letter we write our name. The application starts with the principal, P of principal should be small. Allied school, Rawalpindi, full stop. Then we address the person, salute the person, sir, and the main body. And then we end it with yours obediently, the O of obediently should be small. XYZ, that we suppose is our name. And then we insert the date. And here's say the computer, you have already learnt it. We first give the introduction, then we give the main point and a conclusion paragraph. In this way we write our essay. This was all from today's lesson. Take a good care. Allah Hafiz.